It's a necessity that you do all of the things I'm about to share with you in this video before paying a single kobo for any piece of land in Nigeria. Hi, I am the Realtor Queen, and in this video, I'm breaking down the due diligence process for verifying properties in Nigeria before you go ahead to buy them. Without unnecessary protocols, let's dive into what you need to hear. What do I need to do to make sure I'm buying the right property? The very first step is the verification of the survey plan of the property. What you need to do here is you need to make sure that the coordinates on the survey plan given to you is accurate. In doing this, you do not simply take the coordinates on the survey plan. What you do is you visit the site with a qualified surveyor who picks the coordinates and takes it to the office of the Surveyor General in the state and verifies to ensure that the coordinates picked fall within the perimeter of the survey plan that you were given. This right here is very important because in practice, we've come across cases where the coordinates on the survey plan attached to the property document, it's not the real and actual coordinates of the property being sold. In a bid to sell encumbered or government-acquired lands, most fraudulent surveyors or sellers in some cases, they go and pick coordinates of free and green areas and then substitute the original coordinates for the false one. So you need to make sure that you are not just working with what is on paper. Make sure you take a surveyor to site and it picks the real coordinates live on the site and gets it verified. If the coordinates picked and the one on the document matches, then you are good to go. So the very next step is charting. Charting gives you or shows you the true status of a land, if it is free or under government acquisition. As you know, as a property investor, you might or you might not know, but some piece of lands within a state are reserved for special projects by the government. So what you are looking for in this phase is to make sure that the land that you are thinking of buying does not fall under any of these areas. The very next step for you in the due diligence process is the Physical Planning Authority. So after confirmation, you take a copy of that survey plan and go to the planning authority where the land you're thinking of buying is located. At the Physical Planning Authority, you'll be finding out whether your intended development matches designated use of the area where the land is located. In Port Harcourt, it's called the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, while in Lagos State, it's called the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority. This is where you go to verify the designated use of land according to the state master plan. Now, under this point, I would love to point out something very, very pertinent, especially when it comes to Lagos real estate. Of course, it applies everywhere, but this is it. This is very, very important because it relates to the recent demolitions or constant demolitions in Lagos State. Most of these demolitions are done on the basis of obstruction of state waterways or non-conformity to the Lagos State Master Plan. So whether private or large-scale real estate developers, you need to get here to ensure that your intended project is not blocking any of the said waterways to make sure there are no demolitions in the future. To put it in a nutshell, all the details that you get to find out at the Town Planning Authority can be narrowed down to this. You find out the approved use of land. You find out, very importantly, the height restrictions of that area. How many stories of floors are allowed in this location? How many floors can this land take? The third thing is you find out the number of units you are allowed to develop on your size of land. And the fourth thing is the required clearance for the commencement of your project. This is very, very important. So after charting and verifying your survey plan, and then you finish with the Physical Planning Authority, the next thing you want to do is to go straight to verifying the title itself, a CFO, a deed of assignment / conveyance, a gazette, whatever it is. Make sure you verify the title of the property before purchase. How do you do this? You take copies of the title to the relevant land authority in the state. In Port Harcourt, in River State, it is the Ministry of Lands and Survey, while in Lagos State is the Land Bureau. Three things you find out when you get to this place. Number one, does the document match the owner's name and location? The second thing, you'll be also finding out if it's genuine. And then the third thing is you'll also find out if there are any encumbrances on the land. One of the major reasons you have to come to this place is if a property has been used as collateral for any credit facility, this is the place where you get to find out. So if you're trying to buy a property, you need to come to this place to ensure that that property you're trying to buy has not been used as collateral to collect any loan. And you'll also find out if there are any court cases or disputes around the said property. The next thing you want to do is to find out if your seller has the legal rights to sell the property to you. In a nutshell, you need to verify the ownership of the property, because it can be genuine, but another thing you need to confirm is, does the person I'm dealing with have the legal rights to sell this property to me? Because we've seen cases where family or friends or property owners initiate transactions without the knowledge of the real owner of the property. So you need to verify that the seller you're dealing with has the legal rights to sell that property to you. While doing this, you also need to ask questions if there are any disputes about the property. You need to find out all of those stuff. Let's take you through the 5 steps that I've brought to your knowledge. The first is verification of the survey plan. Second step is to chart the property and ensure it is not within government allocated lands. The third step is to confirm with the physical planning authority in your state to ensure that the intended development matches the designated use of the area the property is located. And then number 4 is to make sure you verify the title of the documents, be it a C of O, deed of assignment/conveyance, or a gazette, whatever it is. Make sure you verify the title. And then the last but not the least is to verify ownership claims. Make sure that the person you're dealing with really has legal rights to sell that property to you. The due diligence process is quite detailed, and every single part is very important, because any part of this due diligence process that you ignore might create a loophole in your property deal. So what you need to do is to ensure you do not skip any of the steps I've mentioned in this video. The due diligence process is as plain as I have explained, but it is pertinent that you do not do it without a professional, an experienced professional. We at Velox Real, we work with a team of lawyers who are experienced in these services. We will help to make your property verification or due diligence process as seamless as possible, sending you a detailed due diligence report at the end of the day, advising you accordingly. If this sounds like something you need, my number is on the screen and my WhatsApp link is also in the description. Send me a WhatsApp message to start. I am the Realtor Queen. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. See you in my next video.